So, what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to compare the iPhone 12 in size next to multiple iPhones. Now, this is the gray color or the black colorway here. And on this one, this is a dummy model here. We will be having the official 12 content coming at the end of this week as I go pick up the model I pre-ordered, but this is going to give you a great video to show you sizes, dimensions, and kind of, you can see those squared off edges there for the iPhone 12 series device. We're going to go ahead and compare it next to multiple iPhones to see how it does do. So let's take a look at it first next to the iPhone 11 of last year. And if we put them side by side, you're going to see that they're actually pretty similar, but it looks like the iPhone 12 might actually be slightly more compact, even though it has a similar size screen as the iPhone 11. So it feels like it's going to be more grippy as well. So the iPhone 12 right here does have more squared edges, so it's going to be more grippy than that of the iPhone 11 right there. And you can see right there, pretty similar on the width, maybe slightly less wide than the iPhone 11 right there, if you can get a closer look. But overall, it's really going to come down, do you like the curvier design or do you like that, more squared off edges? Because overall, it's basically point something millimeters on difference here in size. Overall, that's the iPhone 11 right there versus the iPhone 12. Next in line will be the iPhone 8 or the 7 series, maybe. Pretty similar sizes here, maybe even the iPhone SE 2020. This is particularly the iPhone 8. But you can see that the iPhone 8 goes up a little bit to the iPhone 12. It's not a major jump. I don't think it's going to be like life-changingly large compared to your iPhone 8, but it will have much more screen because it doesn't have those big bezels. So you can see right there, definitely taller on the iPhone 12. If we take a look at the width differences here between the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 12, very different here. The iPhone 12, definitely a little bit wider. It's also a lot thicker than the iPhone 8. So if you don't mind a thicker device, you probably won't care. Overall, though, if you can see the top right there, still, again, more squared off edges here. This is going to be a major upgrade. If you have an iPhone 7 or an iPhone 8, even an SE 2020, I think is an upgrade to the 12. You're getting an OLED display. You're getting, a beautiful dual camera system on here, beautiful design. The iPhone 12 would be an upgrade from any of those phones I did mention. So now let's take a look at it at the iPhone 10. Now this is a phone I feel like people could have just kept all the way up until now. It might be upgrading to the iPhone 12 series. This is an upgrade that you could have held off and just held on to this phone and you would have been fine all the way up until this point, getting 5G on the new iPhone 12s. But you can see the iPhone 12 is actually not that much bigger than the iPhone 10, even though it has a 6.1 inch screen. Pretty similar in size. You can see a little bit taller there at the top of these phones. If we put them on each other, we'll see the width differences, almost identical in width to the iPhone 10. So wow, this is going to be a very similar size phone to hold in the iPhone 12. It might be the just right spot for many people. Many believe that the iPhone 12 is going to be the best seller here. And they might be right. I mean, it does seem like a really good compromise between not too large of a screen and not too small, like some might think the Mini will be. But you can see right there, almost identical. Again, I'll put this like this. And you'll see it almost covers the entire phone, basically meaning that it's almost the same size. You can see here on the sides, though, thickness-wise between the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 12, not a big difference in thickness. We're not seeing major differences there. Although the feel will be different. Some people will appreciate the more curvy design of the iPhone 10. I think it's one of the best iPhone designs ever. Some might disagree, but the iPhone 12, definitely more squared edges, giving it a nice grip. I think the grip is actually better on the iPhone 12 than the iPhone 10. But overall, it's going to be a pretty similar size. If you upgrade to this, you're just going to get a bigger screen, but you're going to get a similar size body, not too much difference in millimeters. Now, what if you have an iPhone 8 Plus, which I bet many do have that watch this channel? It was one of the most popular videos I've ever made on this channel. You can see right here the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 8 Plus. So the 8 Plus is towering over the iPhone 12. But here's the deal with the 8 Plus. The 8 Plus retained those very large bezels here on the device. So even though it's taller, you might feel like you got the bigger phone. you actually don't have the bigger screen by screen size. You have a bigger screen on the iPhone 12 versus the iPhone 8 Plus, but the aspect ratio on the 8 Plus gives it a very big width compared to that of the iPhone 12. So you are going to get a more compact feel body with a bigger screen on the 12. Again, though, it depends on if you like that wide 16:9 aspect ratio. Definitely a thinner phone, it looks like, for the iPhone 8 Plus. Maybe similar, actually. It just has the illusion that it's thinner. But yeah, that camera design definitely looking a little bit old there on the 8 Plus compared to the newer phones. I gotta say, as a whole, I really loved the 8 Plus. It really nailed a lot of the fundamentals, and I think a lot of people love that about the phone. But if you upgrade to the iPhone 12 here, I think it's actually a pretty good move. If you wanted something a little bit more easier to hold than the iPhone 8 Plus with a pretty good size screen as well. Now let's take a look at the XR. This is another upgrade some people might be doing. And you can see, again, just like the 11, it's basically the same phone size, a little bit different, but about the same. You know, the phone itself definitely looks a little bit bigger than the iPhone 12, just maybe a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And the iPhone 12, definitely going to be a pretty good upgrade in camera if you have the XR. Let's go over here to the thinness profile of these two. And you could see the 10R, is it 10R thicker? I'm not sure right there. It looks pretty similar in thickness, maybe a little bit thinner on the iPhone 12. But coming from the 10R, if you go to this phone right here, you're going to be able to handle this one easily. If you handled the iPhone 10R, this is going to be no problem for you right here in the iPhone 12. I do have to say, though, it does look like it's maybe a hair thinner and a hair less wide than the iPhone 10R, though. Maybe just by a hair right there in the corners. Maybe a little bit more easier to handle than the 10R. The 10R felt like a really big phone. If you had something like an SE, an 8, a 7, you upgraded. But again, I think this will be a great upgrade. You get an OLED display, you get a similar size screen, you get an extra camera, and yeah, this will definitely be a better upgrade for you if you have a 10R A14 chipset. You're going up 2 chipset generations, so that'll be great. Now let's take a look at this next to the iPhone SE. This is just laughably smaller. We don't even have to look much to know that's a major jump right there. But you're going to get a similar design. So even though you're going up to a bigger phone, you're getting those similar edges. So if you like the way the iPhone SE looked, but you just wanted it in a bigger form factor, you're going to be good here. But of course, it just swallows the original SE whole. There's no comparison there. Width-wise, it's going to be huge upgrade in width. It's a huge phone compared to SE 2016. So if you're already to upgrade to a bigger size, but you love the SE design, you might like the 12. But be ready for a much larger phone, a much heavier phone as well. And next up, we're going to compare the XS Max. So if we look at the XS Max right here, you can see the XS Max, similar to the 8 Plus, this phone is actually a bit larger than the iPhone 12. Definitely taller, definitely a little bit wider than the iPhone 12 right here. Thickness might be pretty similar. But overall, them curved edges is really, again, with the design differences here, going to be the deciding factor. Do you like these squared edges? A lot of people seem to. The pre-orders have been crushing it, so doesn't seem to bother anybody. Anyway, you can see that in terms of weight, that the iPhone XS Max is going to be heavier. But I got to say, taller, a little bit wider, similar thickness. But you know what? If you go down to the iPhone 12, you're not going to lose that much screen. You're going from 6.5 to 6.1. You might want a little bit more comfort, and you might actually like the price better. So the 12 wouldn't be a bad move from the XS Max either if you're ready to go down just a little bit in screen. And finally, I want to compare the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 12 mini. We've been covering this one in multiple comparisons to show you the differences in size and dimensions. Looking at this next to the 12, though, take a look at what we're looking at here. What a small miniature version of the 12 in the 12 mini. So, I mean, the phone is just absolutely a shorty compared to the iPhone 12. So, if that's what you're looking for in the mini, you're definitely going to want to go with it because it's going to give you 5.4 inches of screen and that one-handed feel that you might have been dreaming of for a long time with an all screen. So, I'd like to give a shout out to Supcase for making this video possible. You can see Supcase brand right here. They make awesome cases at an affordable price point that really just protect your iPhone and give you something that's not gonna be 50 bucks, 60 bucks for a case. You can see there's the green one right there, fits perfectly on the phone. Looks fantastic, gives you some good drop protection. It's a quality piece right there, even though it's going to come in at around under 20. This is the Unicorn Beetle model. Right here, you can see this will be the matching color. Looking pretty sweet, giving you great drop protection, also showing off your Apple logo. So I'll leave a link, and they got many more colors and many more models. We'll be covering the whole lineup soon. But yeah, check them out. Subcase, I'll leave a link down below to pick these up before you order or before you get your iPhone. It would be excellent to have some protection prior to that. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, do me a favor, click that like button for me. Subscribe for more. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.